Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who's realizing just how much they miss you now that you're gone because they have to do some of the work that you were doing. So this could be more of a romantic reading if it's probably, person or somebody that you lived with, somebody that you had children with. Or if this is a work situation, they took you for granted, didn't realize how much you brought to the business, and when you leave, they start to freak out because they don't know how to do the things that you did, or they don't have time to do the things that you did. This 10 of Wands is somebody who feels like they have to do everything. So it's changing their perspective on what it was that you brought to the table, or whether or not they really valued you as much as they should have. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchenta. It's a wonderful day here at Wicked Wands Tarot because I can officially start wearing my tank tops again. It's warm. I'm excited. And I will probably do some more shorts at the park today because you all seem to like that. So I'll do that this afternoon. But hello, Peggy. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Bitch Tata. Hello, Mark. How we doing? Do you want me to call you Poppy? You let me know. If you would like a personal reading, my email address is in the description box below. And I think we're going to dive in with, I think we need an oracle card. This is the signs of the times. What else do we have? Uh-oh. Good luck with that. Yeah. I might have to get a little bit of sun though, because, it's been hiding under sweatshirts for months. Sending Peggy some really good vibes. I hope we get some good news soon. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we've got lightning, number 41, disruption, and number 44, firefly and wonder. This disruption is the distance, right? Since you've been gone. Yes, I was totally going for a Kelly Clarkson vibe. I hope you liked it. This is somebody who's saying, I didn't realize all that you did for the house, all that you did for the business, all that you did for the team, all that you did for me. And now that you're not here, I'm starting to realize just how incredible you are and maybe how dumb I am for walking away or ending this, relationship, whether it's professional or romantic. Hello, how's it going, Candace? Likewise. Hello, Voyager. Hello, Aisha. How we doing? What else do we have? Tree ancestry, number 42. Ooh, I love this. And number 24. So they're mirror numbers. Phrases, motivation, never give up. Why do I feel like there's somebody here who has discarded you, not really seeing how precious you are, not really seeing how important you are. And now it's like, oh, I don't want to creep you out, but it's like somebody who has passed away, who looks out for you, is plucking you up out of an environment where they don't appreciate you and putting you somewhere else. It's like they're trying to work behind the scenes to make sure serendipity gives you everything that you ever dreamed of, right? So you're going to find some strange source of motivation. Now, what I mean by that is for some of you, I'm seeing that you get some weird interaction with a bird. Don't be weird with it, but they follow you or it's like they're talking to you. For others of you, it's going to be some strange song that comes up. I'll give you an example. I had ages ago, you're going to make fun of me. I think I picked the Britney Spears channel on Spotify and it played Jimi Hendrix, something about a merman. I can't remember the title, Not a Britney Spears-ish song. Made no sense, but I feel like that was a message for me because it was completely out of the algorithm, right? There's going to be something here that is out of the ordinary, weird, makes you think for a second, why is that happening that way? And it's telling you to not give up. For some of you, it's going to be, a weed that's growing in the middle of a parking lot, something weird like that, where it's like, dang, really persistent, aren't you? But you're going to have some connection with like a family something, family song, maybe even like a location that was important to someone in your family. But this is saying basically someone's realizing that they're kind of screwed without you, but it was meant to go this way because there's somebody else out there, be it boss or, partner in terms of romance, that is going to actually treasure you or value you the way that they should. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Hello, Phoenix. How are you doing? Happy Friday, everyone. You get into some trouble, are you? This is the character oracle. Oh, Lord. Madman, embracer of madness, frenzy, chaos, unruly, and possession. And player, socialite of charm, elegance, expert of romance, and leisurely life. So this is kind of weird, but the way that I see this, I mean, obviously for some of you, this is you've somehow fallen in love with or, gotten into like a situationship with somebody that you kind of realize just like thrives off of chaos or drama. And now they're realizing just how lucky they were when you were around, but you've been removed from this person, right? For others of you, this is weird. I'm picking up on if this was like a boss or a professional situation. This is somebody who basically shirked their responsibility. They sidestepped what they were supposed to do for, like, in some cases, their own company, right? Like they own it because they were out. So many jokes I could make. They were out poking stuff. They were out doing stuff they shouldn't. Being a garden tool, okay? I'm just gonna say it. So not doing right by their job or their business because they're caught up in some love affair and throwing their responsibilities off onto somebody else, probably you. Hello, Pharaoh. How are you doing? You're in Tennessee? Oh, that's so awesome. Congrats, Phoenix. I hope that goes well for you. Matt, I don't know if I have. I might have to look into that, though, because I do feel like he's a very clever person, and I appreciate that. I will, however, tell you that Jurassic Park is my favorite book. That's right. I didn't say movie. It's a good movie. I said book. So if you like to read, you should read that book because it's got lots of science. Thank you, Pharaoh. Oh, Lord, Jamie, I think that was the right call. Hello, Laura. How are you doing? So we've got Dancer, Weaver of Grace. Man, I just want to like be weird and tell people if they ask me what my job is, I'm a Weaver of Grace. Like, what? This is weird. I mean, somebody who knows about movement, harmony, rhythm, and passion. Then we've got waiter, attendant of hospitality, steward, and cleaner. Well, that last one just makes me think of the movie The Professional, but I don't think that's what it means. I think we've got somebody who was making money off of your skills. So I don't know that it's necessarily both dancer and waiter for whoever I'm reading for, but I do feel like whatever you brought to the table, like you're the entertainment in some cases, right? There are plenty of stories out there about, R&B artists or, I don't know, dancers, whatever, that put in all of the work and do what they need to, but then they don't get paid the way that they should. And then waiter, I mean, ditto. These are the people who are sacrificing the soles of their feet and probably a little bit of sanity to deal with the general public to make sure everybody gets fed. And the people who own the restaurants tend to make a lot more money than the people who run them, right? So I guess what I'm saying is this could be literally somebody who owns a restaurant and you hold down the fort like nobody's business because they're out gallivanting around with like the flavor of the week. But this could also be somebody who, if you're in a relationship with them, you're working multiple jobs to try to maintain what's going on. And I feel like they're not really very helpful. And if you break up with this person, if you move out or kick them out, I feel like they realize real quick just how much you did for them because now they have to do it for themselves. This is the Pause Tarot. Hi, Matt. People will absolutely assume that about people because I think a lot of times people make assumptions that are really reflective of their own issues, right? So if that's something that person would do, they might ascribe that to you as well. But this, we got to keep in mind when I do readings, if I'm channeling somebody, this is their perspective. It doesn't mean that it's 100% accurate. So we could have somebody who's seen as a player, but yeah, I suppose that's why they're general readings, right? So we've got the Chariot, the Empress in the reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. This is a reroute. You know, when that annoying voice tells you you've missed a turn and recalculating route. Does it sound like that for you too? I know, I could change it, right? It could be like some pleasant, like Australian accent or something. I should work on that. Recalculating route. Your life has been recalculated. Your route, your path, you've had a little bit of a pivot, a little detour because somebody was trying to get in your way. Somebody was, honestly, it kind of feels like they were tapping all your energy because they weren't pulling their own weight. You had to, it's like you had to give up the fun in your life in order to take care of business. And we all know there's got to be a balance, right? You've got to be able to take a little break every now and then. Hello, James. How's it going? That makes sense. Oh, I so hope that that gets resolved and made fair for you, Matt. I've heard such horror stories for that. It honestly breaks my heart. I don't know. I've taken piano lessons for 5 years. I played the flute. Like, I love to sing, but I don't know if I can call myself a musician really. But I would consider myself an artist. And I feel like there's so many people who have these beautiful things to contribute to the world. And they get scammed out of their compensation by greedy people. So definitely wishing for all the people who have been dealing with something like that to get proper compensation, to have things be made fair. Sometimes we're so focused on justice coming to us when we lose out on something from one place that we forget that there might be other avenues where we could potentially make up what has been lost. I feel like this is what's happening. You were stuck in a place where somebody was taking and taking and taking more from you than they should have. And it's because somebody here is codependent. With the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, they need you to make the money that they make. Empress in the reverse, this person doesn't have a creative bone in their body, or this person doesn't know how to manage shit. I'm just gonna say it. I wouldn't put this person in charge of like the trash pickup. It's like once a week. It's not very much. Carmen, you don't need to be creative to put the trash out. This is somebody who's like dependent on another person's, I feel, creativity because of the dancer waiter. It could also be more of like the heavy lifting, right? I can really, close a lot of sales, or I process the work much faster, whatever it is, they're making this money, or their life at home is much easier because somebody else is doing all the work. So there's this offer that comes in, or this offer that's been waiting kind of like in the background for the dancer waiter. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Eight of Swords in the reverse. I like that. I don't normally like it when cards are in the reverse, but this combo, I dig it, because the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, this is a loss. This is somebody who's not getting what they should be, or things are not equitable. You take, but you're not actually the reason that things are happening, right? But we have it paired with the Eight of Swords in the reverse, which is like liberation. I was stuck there, or I felt like I couldn't make any changes, but I figured out a way. But I found an open window, crawled right out through it. It's kind of funny because it is like a porthole, right? Isn't that what they call them? I hope so. Did I say hello to James? I think I did. I can't remember. Hello, Key Controller. How's it going? Exactly, Laura. You just got to be able to look for it. I would compare it to video games, you know? You just got to be open to things being everywhere, like opportunities. So we have another Hanged Man, like we did at the very beginning, and it's with the Knight of Swords. I have a change in perspective in terms of what I want to do or where I want to be. And it leads to somebody else having a change in perception because they realize just how much work I've been doing when I don't do it for them anymore. Wah, wah. This is someone realizing I can't make money, or I can't make things work without you doing all of this. So they're kind of coming through as a little bit helpless. But I don't know how to work the dishwasher. I've never done it. Oh, well, you're going to learn today. This is somebody who feels like they've been taken care of, or feels like they've had it made, and now they don't have this person who has made it easy for them. Star in the reverse. Magician, Star in the reverse, Ace of Swords in the reverse, and the Hierophant. So I don't really want to say too much about it, just to make sure I don't say anything I shouldn't. But I did just see Bob Ross, and if you know the story, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it feels to me like we've got, with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, clarified by the Magician, this is the person who has been benefiting from somebody else's work. Whether that's in a relationship, I make you do all the cooking, cleaning, taking care of whatever, or you have to pay all the bills. There's one person here who was cracking the whip, and they benefited hugely from this other person who was actually doing all the work. This is the Hierophant. So the Magician felt like they would be able to continue to, I don't want to say scam, but take from the Hierophant. But the Hierophant is freed now, right? The Eight of Swords was in the reverse. I don't need you. I don't need to be in this relationship, or I don't need you to be my manager. I don't need to work at your restaurant, whatever it is. It's broken, and I'm not going to try to fix it. And if I could, I would install security cameras so that I could watch you try and fail to fix it. But I won't, alas. So the Hierophant's not my problem. I'm going to move on. This is not where I want to be. This is not what I want to do. So I feel like there, I don't know, might have been some major argument, because we did have the disruption card, right? So we could have somebody that finally got sick of this arrangement and felt like it was just not fair. So why should I try to resolve something when I feel like you're just kind of taking advantage of the situation? Hello, Bumface. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. Hello, I'm France. How are you? Yes, that's mostly what I'm referring to. What a great guy. But yeah, I kind of feel bad. Did I get everyone? So we've got the Two of Wands in the reverse, the Ten of Swords, and the Princess of Wands in the reverse. I just heard you're going to rue the day. I don't really say that. Yeah. This is somebody who pushes too far. So, like, if you were negotiating to buy a house and somebody had completely unrealistic terms, I could give some examples. Sure, I want to buy your house, but you're going to have to leave the car that was in the garage too. I want that to come with the house. No, I'm pretty sure that doesn't work that way. I don't know. Has anyone ever made that work? Is that a thing? This is somebody who's like overreaching. Like, what do you mean you get all my commission money? Or what do you mean I don't get a raise? I'm the only reason that you made 200% year over year in 2024. Like, what's wrong with you? This is somebody who's getting too greedy, or this is somebody who quite comfortable with making you do all of the work in your living situation. And then when you were supposed to have like your time off or you were supposed to be at work, this person's like, nah, actually, I think I'm going to go take a vacation for a week and I'm going to use your money. Cool. Okay, bye. It's somebody who's going too far. It's like the audacity. I mean, if Charlotte was here, she'd say, how are you not embarrassed? It's just too big for their britches, right? This person really did feel like they weren't asking too much, but it's definitely overstepping. And it makes this Hierophant realize, okay, bet. I mean, if you want to fire me or if you want to like move out, like, or if you're going to take that vacation, I'll move out while you're on that vacation. This is somebody who's just kind of like, all right, let's see how you do without me. This will be interesting. So we had the Ten of Swords, right? Page of Wands in the reverse is because somebody is not taking note of reality. The Page of Wands in the reverse can be about like a measurement or an assessment of the situation. And raise your hand if you've ever worked for a boss that seemed to have no clue what was actually going on. Yeah, gotta like it. So this is somebody who's like, it's fine. I got this. I can do it. I don't know why you're a surfer, but you can't do it. They're realizing they have squandered their best situation. I would point out for many of you, this is some element of fame. Somebody who doesn't realize that they aren't the talent, right? They aren't what makes things magical. The Hierophant is whoever I'm reading for. So now there's this kind of a bullets being sweated moment. Makes me think of I Love Lucy. There's an episode, I can't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure they're talking about their experience in California, or they may even have already been in California at this time. But Lucy pretends to be his manager. I'm pretty sure she had some fake glasses on and walks into the office and basically is like, well, Ricky had a better offer, so he doesn't need your offer. This is somebody freaking out because whoever this talent is could be their romantic partner, could be somebody they work with, but it's like, oh, you just got a better offer. You're getting way more money with that. You're set up for life with that. You actually get benefits with that. Or that person actually wants to like be respectful towards you. What? This is a clear upgrade, an improvement over the previous relationship or partnership. And it makes this magician irate. Not only does it mean you have potentially found somebody to replace me, or somebody else maybe is going to be making money off of your skill, or, you know, working with you or living with you, but also if somebody has shown you that you deserve or that you could earn more, I can't ever come back around with that measly little offer I got. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. What I was previously offering, clearly not ever going to be good enough again because you got this 10 of Pentacles. So the King of Swords is clarifying the Hierophant. It's like the advantage has shifted. It's no longer the magician who's in control. It's no longer the magician who makes the rules. They're now seeing they're the replaceable one. Your boss needs you more than you need your boss. This is the situations deck. I'm just going to say, remember that this is for entertainment purposes only, because I don't want to be getting anybody in trouble. You really need to pay attention to your intuition and your discernment when you're making decisions that impact your budget or your checking account. But if there is something better out there for you, I don't want you to fear that just because you've got some sort of allegiance or like sense of owning this person who has clearly already taken their fair share and then some. So we've got desire and realization. Now I understand that you were perhaps less than loyal, or you wanted me for things that you could get, that you were overpaying yourself, that you're greedy. This is the Hierophant basically realizing I'm better off on my own because I can't trust you. You don't seem to respect the person who makes this business work or makes this house run. Entrapment, pregnancy, money, and heartstrings. Yeah, this is somebody who broke an agreement or took too much money. And now they're throwing a little temper tantrum because the well's drying up. There's nothing else that they can get from this person. It's kind of feeling to me like somebody takes way more than they should up front, this madman, and feels like, oh, it's okay, because like over time I could pay that back or we could even it out. But if this Hierophant goes off on their own, then this magician might like owe 50,000 right now, you know, like they're not a good gambler. We'll put it that way. Yes, I am. Thank you. Hello, Jasmina. Hello, Illuminati. How we doing? I do remember this. What else do we have? Racing, running, avoiding, and triggers. How can I explain this? Let's imagine for a moment a bed of hot coals. You know, I don't know what culture it is or why people decide that that's something that they should do. But even though I'm a little bit uninformed, I'm going to go ahead and suggest that if you're walking across the coals, you probably don't want to do like a firm-footed, slow walk across the coals, even though I am super inexperienced. But that's what this person's doing. With the triggers, this is like the problems, the things that make it obvious this is an issue, the things that should be like, hey, maybe you should change your opinion. This person is slow walking the hot coals underneath their feet. I don't know, man. Why would you want it to be more painful? Oh, wait. I bet it's pride. Yeah, I'm going to put my money on pride. Ego. Let's go with that. Let's see. Hello, Redbeard. How are you doing today? Ooh. All right. I would like a plate. Thank you. So we've got interview, intervention, poison, and happiness. So the magician who felt like they would always have this lovely little setup where they were making more than they should, or they had it easy. They didn't have to like wash their clothes or cook their food or anything. This person is realizing that they counted their chickens before they were hatched, and there's a change happening. For many of you, it's a job offer or a new connection. And it's like night and day. With the apple being in the reverse, we've got somebody who's clearing out that toxicity and replacing it with happiness. Oh, shucksy doodles, I'm disappointed. Just kidding. Yay! You're saying get out toxic codependent energy. I want to be awesome on my own, make all my money myself. Guns? Oh, no. What is it, like a squirt gun? It's not very threatening. How's it going, Johnny? Oh, I had to read that just to be, certain. Yeah, so things are getting better for this Hierophant because they are no longer letting this magician siphon off the blessings and abundance that should be the Hierophant's. Now it's shifting. So the magician is going to be faced with some financial issues after they themselves had imposed those issues on the Hierophant. It's like the universe is saying, just swap them for me, right? This is like perfect because it's Friday. It's like Freaky Friday. This person who's been using the Hierophant and making money off of their talent or their skills, they're going to be struggling financially in a way that they made this Hierophant struggle because they were so greedy, because they're going to lose this connection, whether it's romantic or professional. All right. What else do we have? This is the Bianco Nero. Two Cups, Three of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Remember that the Two of Cups can be a reference to love, but it can also be about a friendship or a partnership, especially when we've got the Three of Pentacles, joining it. Feels to me like this is, I thought I could trust you. I thought that we were in this together. I thought you would take care of me. And now it's pretty clear that you were taking everything that you could for yourself. But with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, it's like I'm seeing almost like a swap of destiny. Not really, but like what has been happening from a financial standpoint is like being reassigned to each of these. And this magician is going to be taught they need to be self-sufficient. They can't just like rely on everybody else or you. Hello, Boom Crafts. How are you? Oh, it's so good though. I don't know. How do we feel about the new ones? They're kind of medium, right? Seven of Wands, Empress in the reverse again, and the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Interestingly, we also had the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse up here. That's what the Empress is clarifying. So I would argue that we have triple sevens here that could be important for someone. This is definitely giving like they are going to be defensive and maybe try to reestablish a connection. Hey, after having to do everything for myself or after having like to basically make my own money, I found it really sucks. And I'd really like it if you could just like come on back to my company or my house and like do everything for me again. Could you do that? Let's see, I don't know if I have a microphone or anything appropriate here, so I'm just gonna go, how about no? This person's like, come on, I can't make my own money. Everything was so much better when I could make my money off of you. Could you just like make my life easier again? No. Whoever you are, you're like, no, I think I'm actually quite good on like paying your bills with my skills. I think I'll pay my own. It's weird. Yeah. I would agree with that. So we've got Strength. Hanged Man in the reverse. 5 of Wands in the reverse. You hold all the power. They just didn't want to admit it. So I haven't thought about this movie in a while. I just saw a flash of obviously the amazing dancing, right? Because we have the dancer card. In the movie The Newsies, or is it just called Newsies? I can't remember. I think it's just Newsies. If you've never seen that movie, get on it. But it was about the young like paper boys who were taken advantage of by the major like newspapers and whatnot. I'm pretty sure it was set in New York, right, you guys? I'm dead certainly we're talking about the Bronx. But they were underestimated and they worked together and found a way to deal with the greed. Now, is there still greed? Of course. But this is somebody who's saying, hey, just a quick thought, but have you maybe forgotten that you make your money or your life is super easy because of me? Just wondering. Just wondering if you ever thought about what would happen if I was no longer in your life. Oh, oh, you haven't thought about it. Okay, well, trial run. This is somebody who's like, look, it's not going well. I've had this conversation or an offer that pays me way more than you do. Or, I've decided maybe my life would be a lot easier if I just go off on my own. We don't have to replace a bad relationship with a new relationship because many times it's just like a new bad relationship. But I do feel like if this is a professional reading, I don't need you anymore because I have a new boss or I have a new manager or I'm doing things on my own now. This person, the magician, they can't say anything because you see now that you have the power, much like the Newsies found out. They have the power because they can be loud, right? There's more of them. Ooh, that sounds scary. So we've got the Moon, the Two of Pentacles, and the King of Cups in the reverse. Now the tables have turned. Now the true power resides with this Hierophant because there's somebody else that entered the chat. Somebody else who's like, hey, do you want to work for me? Hey, maybe you want to do a podcast. Hey, maybe you want to write this book. Hey, whatever you do, that's awesome. How about you make more money doing it because you don't have to deal with this person anymore? There's a change and no one could blame you for going with this change because it's well-deserved. A step up. And this magician's over here like, but wait, how am I supposed to live? It's like, that's weird. You never asked that question about me when you were taking all my money. So weird, isn't it? One could say this is a little bit of a taste of their own medicine because they have been taking from someone else. It was not theirs to take. Let's see. Are you talking about Scary Terry like Rick and Morty? Because I'll die of laughter. We've got the High Priestess in the reverse, the Fool, and the Queen of Swords. Some people really struggle with the idea of long-term, right? If things are great right now, they're always going to be great. If I'm making $1 million this year, I'm always going to be making more, right? No, actually, peaks and valleys. That's kind of how life goes. This is somebody who kept feeling like things will only get better and that you would be responsible or you would make their life easier. And with this Queen of Swords, this is, for some of you, a legal document. For some of you, just like a lawyer saying, yeah, no, actually, this is going to change. Or a job offer, moving out. But this is no, we're done. You can make your own money now. You can take care of your own stuff now. I'm going to go on my own path. The Fool, there's a new start here, a new beginning. I don't need to work with you. I don't need to be in a relationship with you. I am not dependent on you. You were always dependent on me. So we've got the Ten of Wands like we did at the beginning. Death. And the Page of Pentacles. It's time for things to change. It's time for the person who's actually doing the work to make the money from it. So there's things that fall into place or timing that makes things, I think, a little bit easier on this Hierophant to make a change and start this new beginning where they're the ones who benefit from their hard work or their skills. Is it Amit? I hope you're having a good day. We've got 3 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles and the Magician in the reverse again. Well, it was in the upright before. Yeah, I don't know why I would continue to work with you. I don't know why I would trust you. It's quite clear you took money that wasn't yours, or it's quite clear you were more aggressive in terms of the contract that you gave me than you needed to be. You should have acknowledged the, what I brought to the table. You should have paid me fairly, or you should have been working alongside me, right? Division of labor could be pretty critical here. 9 of Swords in the reverse. 6 of Swords. And the 2 of Cups in the reverse. Things get massively better for you when this Magician is no longer in your life. They don't have the ability to take things that aren't theirs. You're able to negotiate something fair or equitable, be with somebody who's transparent, but it all begins with this breakup or this tearing up of a contract. You're not my manager. I don't want to work with you anymore. Toodaloo. All right. This is the Kipper. What else do we have? Yeah, I could see that. What else do we have? 19, Coffin. 27, Unexpected Income. And main mail. This Magician has made money off of you without any justification. It's like they charged you a fee they shouldn't. It's like they've been assuming you would never double check your paychecks to make sure that your recent promotion or pay raise went into effect. There's like back pay, or they owe you money, or they borrowed on future things that aren't going to happen. This person's going to have financial issues because the money is going back to where it's supposed to be, the Hierophant. Courtship number 4 and number 22, official person, because there's someone here who shows up and they have a legitimate offer. If someone was only paying you 30% and you should have been entitled to 60%, this is somebody who's coming around and saying, hey, I've got this offer for you. It's, the standard 60%, whatever it is. This is somebody who's like, no, we want to be fair. You're the talent. Got to make sure that you're taken care of. This other person was like, me. Give me all the money. So you're dealing with a real one, right? Somebody who's professional. You got Thief in the reverse. So no more of the dishonesty or somebody who feels like you should do everything for them. It's time for you to get the pay or the recognition that you deserve. And it's not going to be fun for this Magician because they've been riding your coattails. But we all got to learn sometime. What else do we have? Wow. So we just got Coffin, right? End of somebody taking your money, the end of somebody charging too much, or, being unreasonable in what they expect from you. It's time for things to elevate. It's time for you to get paid the way you should. It's time for you to be appreciated the way you should be. And this magician's going to be a little pouty about it. That's not fair. No, what wasn't fair was that you were taking all this person's money. So we got 42, the compass, and the ring, number 25. Remember, for many of you, this is actually a reference to a contract, as a marriage is, in fact, a contract. But for those of you where this is a romantic reading, you walk away from somebody who was codependent, made you do everything, and you find a true partner, somebody who actually wants to, okay, you cook and I'll do the dishes and do the cleanup, right? Let's do like actual division or like appreciate each other. You're finding somebody else who's going to be more respectful of the fact that you bring a lot to the table, that you deserve to be paid handsomely. What else do we have? Oops. Damn it. Oh no, not the woman without a shirt. Yeah, there's someone you can't trust here. Somebody who is willing to, be a little bit fast and loose with their morals. Hence the lady without a shirt, right? Sorry, got to cover up a little bit. The bridge is about connections. You have to make sure before you start making the big money, okay, to get rid of, don't like be murdering people, okay? I'm saying like distance yourself from the people who get close to you just because they want to take from you. So things are clearing out because something big is about to happen. Some of you may be about to get famous. Some of you may be about to have like an overnight success in terms of business or like a book that you've been writing. Either way, I hope it's like massively shocking to you just how successful you get. And thank you for the likes and the subscribes. I'm gonna leave it there. Feel free to, let me know down the road when you get real famous, and I'll like give you a little shout out. I hope to see you on the next reading. Doodles.